Good morning for AM 1340 and 99.5 FM WGRV. This is Reid Seals, and I'm here for the monthly interview with Greene County Mayor Kevin Morrison. First off, Kevin, why did it take so long for election workers to get a raise while other surrounding counties paid workers more?
Well, Reid, the primary reason for that is that's been sort of put on or pushed back on the back burner for several years. I think that was more of a out of sight, out of a mind thing than more of a punitive type thing. But we corrected that on Monday evening, and in a resolution offered up by Brad Peters, which I think the discussions were somewhat in the works prior to changes in administration. I know Lena Dean, who's on the election board, had done some really good homework with regard to surrounding areas and had come to the county commission, made a wonderful presentation about election worker pay, and the commission decided to sort of take that up and run with it. It was much deserved, something I supported, to offer up a pay raise for our election workers. I think it was as you stated, long overdue, and it brings us more in line with what the norm is around the area, so that the extra time that our election workers put in, they do an excellent job. Can't say enough about how fair, impartial, streamlined, and efficient Donna Bergner and the election commission do over there. So it was well deserved, and it rewards those who give back to our community in that respect.
And can you explain the 911 budget shortfall?
Well, the 911 budget shortfall was discovered, Reid, primarily when we started the budget building year. 911 is essentially an independent agency that is offered an annual stipend from the county as well as Greeneville City, and supported primarily with phone surcharges on your phone bill, landline and cell phone. The state collects that money and sends a portion of that back to Greene County. That cost, or that revenue, is fixed at $748,000. It's based on a quite archaic or old formula based on an average of 2010, 2011, and 2012 revenues. So that's all of the revenue that 911 receives. The board, in parceling out or setting the budget throughout the year, has no way to, for instance, raise any additional revenue to cover pay raises, equipment purchases. Anything that would go up for me or you has essentially been fixed by the state in terms of what the 911 board can pay for things back to 2010, 11, and 12 levels. So that, over the course of the last few years, has caused this budget shortfall, currently as it sits now, about $464,000. On Tuesday, we met with Jim Barnes. He is the finance director on the state 911 board, about our issues and solutions that we could offer up. Todd Smith from the city of Greeneville was there, along with several members of the county commission and the board members there, as well as members of 911, myself, and Roger Woolsey, the county attorney. And we offered up some of our concerns, basically that the amount of revenue coming back to Greene County was fixed, that the board and the county itself and the city, who contributes to 911, had no way of being able to raise additional revenue to cover these ongoing expenses. Again, the antiquated formula that is out there, as well as my personal frustration with the fact that Greene County generates somewhere in the neighborhood of 900 thousand to $1 million in phone surcharges, but we're only returned 748,000. That money essentially is parceled out by the state to other sort of rural counties to operate their 911 budget. So we're in essence sort of subsidizing those around us. Not necessarily places like Washington County and Johnson City, Sullivan County and Kingsport, but more of the rural counties that lack markets and commerce. So that's how the shortfall developed. We're working hard. 911 did some budget trimming. They'll have to do some more. And then we'll look at ways that we can fix this problem permanently in the future. One of those things that we're looking at perhaps is to reorganize or restructure the 911 board so that either the Board of Mayor and Aldermen or the County Commission has sort of final oversight, if you will, with regard to budgetary matters and actually approves their budget, so that everyone has eyes on to know that if there is a recurring revenue problem, then we'll know much sooner than 4 years after the fact. So.
And speaking of the budget, do you think there will be a property tax increase this year? Has there been any indication yet?
Well, we've had several departments, Reid, submit their initial budgets. I'm happy to report, I guess, to the folks of Greene County, I don't think there will be a property tax increase. We don't anticipate anything such as that. Revenue streams are fairly stable or up. We've got some good things going on in our community with regard to increasing retail, restaurant establishments. We've had several businesses and industries. Obviously, with all the help wanted signs out there, that's a good sign for our community. But I don't anticipate a property tax increase this year. And the budgets look good. We've got an excellent team of office holders that very sort of conservatively look at their budget, look at where they can move money to priorities that they've established in their offices. I've not seen anything out of the ordinary, and really other than sort of the little surprise that has come out of 911, the budget process looks to be something that will be smooth, that we can look forward to, and hopefully have a budget in place by at least July.
And are there any updates on the Emergency Management Agency offices?
Reid, we haven't really done anything else with the EMA since our last meeting when the fire chief, Alan Shipley, came and made his presentation about the new fire station number 2 over on the southwestern side of town. We're still obviously exploring the possibility of securing grants through community block grants in the First Tennessee Development District, as well as the USDA granting or loan process. That would look to knock off several $100,000 off the cost of that projected price. So we just don't have those things in place just yet. I know that, like I say, it was a very preliminary thing. Obviously, one of the things that the town of Greeneville, that Todd Smith had promised us, and I'm saying the county commission, myself and the county commission, as far as a more concrete design, for instance, about a more firmer price, if you will, as to what this is going to cost per square footage, to see if we want to join this process, particularly if we get these grants to come through.
Well, I want to thank Mayor Morrison for joining us this morning to go over just what's been going on here in the county over the past month. This is Reid Seals for 99.5 FM WGRV.